Welcome to Untying Knots, episode 4. I'm Lyndon,
And I'm Angelica.
and we are excited to talk to you today about dating, but the solution to your
Yes,
dating problems. We think we got something for you
We
today.
definitely got something.
Man, so stick with us. We're going to have a whole conversation. We're going to get into the good, the bad, and the best
Yes.
when it comes to dating because people have been telling us the streets are terrible. Dating sucks.
Yes.
Really. Man,
But Houston has the baddest girls, but one of the worst dating atmospheres.
it does. And that's in an article, a published article.
Yeah.
The girls out here are crazy bad. You know, I
Yes.
never knew Houston
Yes.
had it like that until I got here.
Yes. Shannon and Ocho Cinco just even said it in their podcast.
I saw that. I
Yes.
saw that on theirs. Man, I didn't know until I got here. I remember the first week I was here, my head was on a swivel. Then I went to Chapman and Kirby.
Oh,
I
yes.
was like, oh
That's
my
the
God.
spot. Yeah.
Then I went to the Heights. Then I was out in Bel Air and Chinatown. Every flavor.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Every flavor Houston got.
Yes.
However
As
you like your
many-
mommies, they got
As
it.
many as you want as well.
Oh my God. Don't
By
get
the
me
boatload.
started.
Literally.
Literally. Literally. Off the boat, off the
boat,
dock,
off the dock.
legal, illegal.
Cross the
they
border.
Bad. They bad.
Right.
So man, yo, I love the fits today.
Thank
Let's
you.
talk about
Thank
it.
you, thank you, thank
First things
you.
first.
Yes.
First things first.
Yes.
This episode is brought to you by our sponsors at Starstruck Collection.
Yes. Shout out to Rod for sending us these amazing, literally off the rack. Like they just got
Just
made.
came out.
Just got
The
made.
Starstruck hoodie is what we're wearing today.
Yes.
He only makes this for the stars. That's how I know we made it.
Yes. That's
We
right.
big time now. We big
We really
time.
are. We really are. But also, these are all custom made. So all the
Yes.
track suits that he makes for the stars are custom made to fit.
Yes.
Measurements and everything.
Attention to the deep.
Yes.
Like, it's crazy.
I love that he sent us a pink. So
Oh, man.
I love it.
What did Weezy say on Carter 2? He said, I'm looking like a star, bitch, when you see me make a wish. That's how I feel right now. That's how it feels.
And
So,
it's a star. It's a star, right? It's all about the star.
it is.
So,
this
yeah.
is some hoodie heat. Definitely check out the Starstruck collection on all platforms. Check their website out. And definitely, you need to get yours.
Yes.
Look, it's about to be cuffing season.
That's
It's
right.
fall time.
This is nice.
You need this
It's
hoodie.
really
Trust
nice.
me.
The stars.
Nobody's going to have this except
Yes.
for you.
I love it.
It's way too nice. Way
Mhm.
too nice. Shout out to Rod once again.
Yes. Thank you,
We
Ron.
appreciate you, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, so let's get into it. The focus of this conversation is to discuss the problems that people are having in dating, but not just talk about the problems. Let's actually give some solutions. Let's
Solutions,
actually
for
give people
sure.
some tidbits on what you can do to enhance and improve your dating life and get the results that you really want.
Yes.
Right? So remember we were out in Atlanta and we were out at the lounge and we had a conversation with 3 waitresses.
3 girls. Yeah.
Right? Beautiful women.
Of course.
And they all said that we were like, what's the dating scene like in Atlanta? And they're like, oh, it's shit.
Why do they always say that in the big
Everybody-
cities?
Do you think the dating scene is bad to you in your experience?
I don't really date in Houston, but I date everywhere else.
Okay.
So I think so. Yes.
Really?
I think there's an oversupply of ran through prospects.
Oversupply?
An oversupply of ran through prospects.
That's hilarious.
That's what it is. And I do believe there's an oversupply of gorgeous, beautiful, accomplished women, but the men are just running through them to see how many they can get under them. So
What? I think you're giving women way too much credit.
I mean, look, I don't know. You can speak on your dating experience here in Houston. I mean, look, the women are beautiful. A lot of
Yeah.
them are successful. There's a lot more single women here than there is single men. And I say that because I always see the same groups of people out, and I don't really be out like that.
Look, there's no man more single than a married man.
Yes, for sure, especially at Chapman and Kirby. They leave those rings inside the
Oh my
cars,
goodness.
but they get more game with the rings.
Listen, I had my ring on when I met Miss Colombiana. When I
Yeah,
came to
and she
Houston.
didn't care. She didn't care.
Nah.
And again, I'm gonna stress this again. I said this in episode 2. Women hit on married men because they have been pre-selected by another woman,
Mm-hmm.
and the ring is the indication that they have been pre-selected. Whereas a man will not hit on a married woman and they will respect the fact that she got a man.
Yeah, they're more territorial.
They're more
They're off
territorial.
limits.
Like, okay, she's off limits. Let me go find one without a ring. But women are totally the opposite.
So let's get into it, right? What are some of the problems in the dating world today? From what you see, what you've experienced, let's talk about a few of the problems. Let's
Okay.
identify that.
So the biggest one I've seen in my 3 years of singleness has been commitment. People don't want to commit. They're jaded,
Okay.
mistrust. So their past experiences have jaded them to be able to look at a new relationship with commitment standards. Now, there's a difference between commitment and exclusivity, which we could get
Mhm.
into.
We're going to talk about that.
But I do believe that people just don't want to commit. People don't want to commit. They want to have their cake and eat it too.
Do you think that guys don't want to commit, or they have committed before to women and they've been hurt by women? So
Yes.
now they're not really open to the idea
They're jaded.
because it's a defense mechanism.
Yes. Or they will commit, quote unquote, but then still be doing their stuff on the
Well,
side.
commitment versus exclusivity,
Right.
right? Like, you
Yeah.
could be committed to a girl, but not be exclusive to her.
But the girl thinks you're exclusive to her.
Well, those are two different things.
Right. I agree. But I do believe people are hurt. People are unhealed. And you cannot give love if you can't receive love. And if you can't love yourself, there's no way you can receive love or give love.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think that's a big problem.
From the guy side, I feel like the biggest problem in dating is that women are delusional. Like, the delulu in these women is absolutely off the charts.
Okay, speak on that. Like what
Like,
exactly? Like
you
get
gotta
deep
be
into that.
you gotta be realistic about who you are and what you want. Like, RIP to the legend Kevin Samuels, because we
Mhm.
need him back, because he kept bitches in check. Like, seriously, like, there'll be women, like, you have to really like assess your situation and what you're presenting to a man. So if I'm a single man,
Mhm.
a 6-figure earner, in the gym, you know, got my own money, right?
Okay.
Stuff like that. Why do you think that I would want a woman in her 40s with 3 or 4 kids
Right.
who's not in the gym?
Yeah, 100%.
Why do you think I would want you?
I think it's all preferences.
On what
Yeah.
level are we compatible?
Right. That's why I think us older women get hit on by the younger
Well, that's the thing. So
guys.
then, okay, so then the other thing is that, like, I just feel like women don't, they think this whole, like, idea, like, I'm the prize mindset. You know, like, you're a human being. Like, you're innately beautiful. You're innately valuable. Like,
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
human being is a prize in and of themselves. You're no better than the next, honestly. But this idea that, like, any man is just so blessed and highly favored to be with me is delusion.
Yeah.
Or this whole idea, like, he has to spend X amount of dollars
Yes,
for
let's
a
get into
date
that. Yeah.
because I'm bringing my presents. Like,
That's
who the F are
crazy.
you? Like, you're delusional.
That I think is crazy. I had a guy take me to a taco truck and we had the fierest tacos and we had the fierest conversation. And I think he brought like a bottle of tequila and
And
it was awesome.
so what was awesome about that date?
What was awesome about that date is that there was no pretense and there was no it just flowed. Like it was cool. Like we were just out. It was nice out. There was music. You know, we got some tacos and there was no expectations. I think a lot of women have these crazy expectations when you don't even know the guy. You don't even know if you want to be with him.
Right.
And so when the girl came out and she said, "Oh, he's taking me to Cheesecake Factory or whatever," in my mind, so I'm a high value, high earning woman. I can take you on a $200 date, or I could take you to the taco truck. But I felt a lot of people do feel privileged, or they feel I should be treated a certain type of way. But when it really comes down to is the emotional connection, the respect, you're both giving time of your day to each other. When women's like, "Oh, I dressed up and all this and all that," he's still taking you out. He may not be taking you to the $200 dinner, but why? If a woman would not spend $200 on a guy that you just met, you don't even know the dude.
Like,
He doesn't even know you.
exactly. Now, I've gone out on dates and spent $200 on the first date, $300, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm not thinking about it from a quantitative standpoint of
Yeah.
how much I'm spending. It's the fact this is what I wanted to do. I invited you out with me tonight,
Right.
and that's just how much the night ended up costing.
Right.
But if I wanted to go to a food truck or something more low key or less expensive, that's fine
Picnic.
too. Because
Yeah.
you know what really matters? It's not how much he spends on a date. It's the quality of the time that you're spending
Right.
together to understand
Each
if
other.
you have something there.
Right. If there's a vibe. Yeah.
So that's the solution to your problem. The problem isn't that men are cheap or don't want to pay for dates or you're not a prize. The problem is that you're misappropriating what really matters on that date, which is the
Right. The
quality,
quality.
not
Quality.
the quantity of
Right.
what it costs.
Because let me tell you, I've been flown out and had whole dates, outfits bought, bags bought, and then vibes are shit.
Yes.
And I'm
It
back
could
to
be the opposite.
yeah, and I'll be back to the taco truck.
Literally. Because
Yeah.
you had the experience was
Right.
of higher quality.
Right. But I realize that a lot of women are living for the float out and the Chanel and the dress and the flowers and all that. A lot of women are aspiring for that. And I think that their mindset is skewed because they think that that's it. You know, that's it right there. If I don't have that, I'm not it.
And which, as a guy, I feel like women they want to be a wife without understanding the role of a wife.
Yeah.
They want a wedding without understanding the work of a marriage.
Right.
And that's what they're working towards.
The
is
fluff.
becoming a wife and having a wedding to post it on IG and do this cool videography, cinematic, reel for the gram,
Right.
and then get involved in a marriage, and then you're an ain't shit wife.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're not understanding the role
Right.
and what she should be doing and serving her husband and vice versa. So I'm just like, yo, like the delusion is it's out of control.
Out of control. Do you think it's out of control in these bigger cities?
Yeah, I've always said this, like the dating scene and culture in Houston is so different than how it is back home in Indiana. Like just like the values. And maybe it was a time thing, but I also think it was like just a demographic. Back home in a big city, like there is no real push for status.
Yeah.
Like you don't see a Rolls Royce back home like that. Like you don't see a Ferrari. You
Rolling up.
don't see those type of things. Like nobody, you could go years without seeing somebody just wearing a Rolex. Like there's a lot of commonplace status things in Houston and a big city where both men and women are pushing for status and pursuing it. And so your viability as a partner is based on your status a lot of times in Houston. Like just on a simple level, when I first got divorced, I had an Android.
Yeah.
You had an Android too.
I had an Android when we met.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
We both had Androids.
Mhm.
I literally got an iPhone because this girl told me, she was like, you're fine and everything, but I just can't do texting you on an Android. And I was like, my phone? She's like, it's just a lifestyle thing. Like, it's a status thing. Like, you should just be doing so much better in life. And like, you deserve, like, or she said something like, your lifestyle should represent the phone that you have. And in that moment, I realized I'm not getting as much pussy as I should be getting because
of your phone.
So the next day, I would have got an iPhone, and then the pussy rate went up 45% immediately.
Listen,
because of status.
I believe it.
Because of a blue bubble.
Because of a blue bubble.
Crazy.
I agree. Because the same thing happened to me when I was in Hollywood in the executive rooms with the producers and the executives. They would call me.
Yes.
They're like, why you have an Android? We can't FaceTime you.
Remember I would tell you, I was like, you need to get an iPhone.
And then I finally did it because of the stress of Hollywood became too much.
Status.
Yeah, status.
It's a status
I still hate
symbol.
it. Shout out to Samsung. I love your phone.
Back home, the phone you're texting on literally does not matter to a man or a woman in selecting a spouse. Like, it's just like little stuff like that.
I know, but now I see the green bubbles and I was like, ooh.
I know. Now I get a green bubble. Like if a girl texts me with a green bubble, I would be like, dang, she really not that cute. She really not that cute no more.
Yeah.
And it's weird that we think
maybe she loses some points. Let's talk about losing points. What else are us women in Houston losing points on?
Losing points.
The ladies want to know.
This 50-50 stuff is wild to me too.
Let's get into that. Because I got dragged.
My mom has been married for 41 years.
Yeah.
She did not get selected by my father or sustain a 40-year marriage because she was worried about going 50-50 with him. In fact, my mom helped my dad build. Like
Yes.
when they were in their 20s,
Yes.
my dad, he got a loan from the bank. He bought a house and he bought a rental property. My mom helped him, would like be the interior designer for him.
That's awesome.
And he built a portfolio.
Shout
and
out
she
to
would
Mrs.
help
Jones.
him build,
Yeah.
like build his
I think that's what women do.
life.
We are builders and we are multipliers.
She did.
Multipliers, okay?
I also saw my parents go through the recession. And I watched my mom work 3 part-time jobs to
Yeah.
help my dad,
Yeah, my mom worked 3 jobs
who was
too.
down bad
Those
in
are
that
original
season.
hustlers.
You know what I mean? Like, she didn't say like, "Oh, well, you a man and you got it and you need to take care of it and you're less of a man if you don't pay for all my bills and get my nails and hair done." My mom worked 3 part-times
Yeah, so did
to
my
help
mom.
him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that whole mindset of like, my mom enjoys the lifestyle that her and my dad have created because of her contribution to his success.
Yes.
It's a two-way street. He provides and takes care for her. She does things to help him be
And provide for
successful.
him. Yeah, it's important into each other.
She doesn't have a kickback, buy me a bag type of mentality.
That's
She has a
crazy.
how can I help my husband
Right.
mentality. And it's just like, why would I, as a man who's building, who is accomplished and wants to accomplish more, want to be with a woman who's nothing but a liability and a bill and an expense, instead of a woman who wants to come in and
Well,
collaborate?
and this goes back to the age, right? Because I got dragged on IG and TikTok about my age, right? And about
How old are you?
41.
Okay.
Yes. And I look better than most of the 20s out there. But our generation we're aging very nicely, I have to say.
I would agree.
We are aging very nicely. But I started thinking about this. Okay, so all the guys were saying, "Oh, I'd rather take the McDonald's cutie or something."
Oh, yeah.
Right? But then I was like, that woman's mindset is a taker. She's going to want to take as much as she can from you. What can she really provide for you? Other, like you're saying, build in the building aspect.
I feel like in that situation, it's like people look at it like she's a low maintenance woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So she's not going to require as much.
That guy gave a bad example, but I think that's what he was kind of saying, that because his
Right.
contrast was to a woman who's an attorney, which he was trying to frame as like a high maintenance woman who's going to require all this extra stuff, whereas the cashier girl at McDonald's is just going to be happy that you're taking care of her with lower
Mhm.
expectations.
With low expectations. But she may not be, unless you're grooming her, she may not be able to help you build. And in fact, she's just going to be a headache and take from you.
Yeah, that could be. That could very
Right.
well be it.
And this another thing too that I've had a lot of guys tell me that they are so reluctant to commit because they feel like women are just trying to get as much as they can from them,
Agree.
financially, emotionally, physically.
Mm-hmm.
And then the girls would just trade them up. Like they'll trade them in for something better.
I could see that. I
Yeah.
could see that, like, once again, in a big city.
In a big
like
city.
in a Miami, LA, Houston, like you're gonna encounter, it's a status thing, like it's a level up thing. It's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like women are, I feel like a lot of times are trying to get as much from men as they can without giving as much as they can.
Right.
Like what's the little bit of investment I can give him and what's the most that I can receive from him?
Right.
And it's just like, it's crazy. Like I feel like as a guy, as a high earner, it's what you have to accept. It's that fact that most people who are around you want to be with you because of what you can do for them.
Yeah. Talk about that because that's difficult for a man. The more you make, the more you start realizing that all this attention is because of your actual access to funds and resources.
Yeah, I mean, the only way to really test it out is to lose it all, right?
And see if they stick around.
Exactly. And people who are hyper successful in life, like it's not like a straight line up to success.
Of
and,
course.
like
Especially
high income earning.
entrepreneurship.
It's up and down.
Yeah.
Success and going profit and going bankrupt, and you go broke and you get rich and go broke again. Like
Yeah.
that's how a lot of it works for most people. So when you're in a season where you're up and the love of your life is with you and everything is good, it's easy then. But when you lose it, half of it, a fraction of it, all of it,
Yeah.
what is
That's
does
when
she
the
do?
pain comes in.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Is she gone now, or is she still there? Like that's 21 questions.
Well,
50 Cent.
if a woman chases lifestyle, she most likely will not be there because she's been
No,
chasing the lifestyle.
because what can you do for her now?
Right.
you know? So I feel like that's the hard thing. But then there are some women who are going to help, like my mom.
Mhm.
But I just don't know if this generation of women, you said there's a supply of ran through surplus of ran through men. There's
Yeah.
a shortage of collaborative women
Yeah.
of who
I
will come
agree.
alongside a man like, I'm gonna
And
help
build them
you.
up. Yeah.
You're okay. Like we're in this together.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
And I
thanks for the
think
ride.
it's crazy to me because I'm the type of woman that will build a man up. Anybody who comes around me, not even a romantic relationship, even just a friend, if anybody comes around me, I have that energy of building you up in any way, shape, or form. Like if you leave me, you're leaving in a better situation that you came in.
Hmm.
But that's just my mentality of what I'm a giver and how I show love and
Yeah.
attention, right? But it's crazy because these women want all this stuff, but they can't even provide it to themselves.
Look, the way to receive is through giving.
Right.
The love that you want to receive from a man, you have to be willing to give him that same love.
Right.
I saw this on Threads. I want to ask you this. This girl said on Threads, she said, if a woman is paying all the bills, what is the man's function or purpose in the relationship?
Wow. Well, it depends on what he's bringing her because he could be bringing her emotional support. He could be bringing her, love. It's not all about the money, really, if you think
Okay.
about it. So what she needs to ask herself is why does she even have them in the first place? Because women don't have men around just for monetary reasons, just like men don't have women around just for sex.
Okay.
So I think the question is, what is value? What is of value to you of having a man around? Like for me, having a partner that is going to elevate me to a level that I can't get to on my own is more valuable than how many bills he's paying. Does that make sense?
It does, because he's providing you something that
He's
money can't
providing me
buy.
something that money can't buy. If he's disciplined, if he's loyal, if he's holding me down, I don't have a problem with the money aspect,
Okay.
right? But I think you go back to the protector and the provider and all this stuff. So if you want to be a traditional woman, you have to have all parts of a traditional woman, unless you're going to be hybrid, where you do some parts and other parts,
Okay.
but you can't be a traditional woman and expect traditional ways if that's not what you want
Yeah.
or that's not what you're showing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to be a bad bitch and I'm going to have my own career and I'm going to have this and I'm going to have that. But I also want him to protect and provide.
Yeah, exactly. You're a
That's,
modern woman, but expecting
yes.
a traditional man.
Right.
So this was my response to the woman on Threads. If a woman is paying all the bills, the man's role in that relationship is that her money is covering their livelihood and his money is being invested into something else to create more money for
Yep.
them. So what he's done is her $60,000 a year is paying for all the bills in the
The bills.
house. His $80,000 a year is now being reinvested into a business, a laundromat, a something, a rental property, whatever, some type of investment to generate more income and equity.
Of course.
And now they turn
100%.
two incomes into three.
Yes.
And now you cash flow that, and now you can build. And when she commented back, like, I never thought about that. It's because your only way of thinking that a man's value is to pay all the bills. And if I'm paying the
Right.
bills, why the F is he here? It's like you're not even thinking about the management of the money.
Right.
You're just thinking about
Or
who's paying
the
what.
collaborative partnership. And I think that's where it all falls. Like I say this when people ask me,
Exactly.
do you want a partner? Do you want to be married? And I'm like, I'd get to the top faster with a collaborative partnership.
Bruh,
That's with
I
everything.
don't even want a wife. I will take a partner.
Right.
Like, partner with me
Right.
and build something. Look, you don't keep your last name.
Yeah.
You don't even
For
gotta have
real.
mine.
For real.
Let's just
Yeah.
build this
Like the
together
actual
and love
marriage
each
part
other.
of it. I'm with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk
Yeah.
about that. Commitment and exclusivity. What's the
Okay.
difference?
Let me break it down. Okay. Everybody got their notepads out. Okay. I can be committed to you. I could be committed to this relationship, but I'm not exclusive to you. Okay. Let me break it down because the guys are going to have a harder time understanding this. So when people go on Shark Tank, they ask you, are you full time in this business,
Mm-hmm.
and they say no. So then the shark, what is it? Brian O'Leary, he will say,
Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary will say, if you're not fully invested in your own business, why do you want me to be fully invested in your business?
Right.
So that's the difference between exclusivity and commitment. I can be committed to you. I could do business with you. I can do business with them. I could do business with everybody, but I'm not exclusive to you. Now, if I'm exclusive to you, the resources and everything between us is between you and I, no one else.
Mm-hmm.
No one else. So there is a big difference between commitment and exclusivity.
Is that the difference between relationship and situationship?
Yes, I would say yes. I think situationship is just a word that came up because people don't want exclusivity. They
But
want to play the field.
But situationship is I'm committed to you,
Yeah, I guess
but
yeah,
I
synonymously.
might not be exclusive to you.
I might not be. You're right. Yeah. So
But-
that's synonymous for
But
sure.
then one counterpart could think, well,
That-
we're in a relationship.
And that's when the
exclusivity.
problem happens is you actually would have more play and actually have more understanding in relationships if you just be 100 with people.
1,000%.
Just be, you would be surprised how many people would be down to the open relationships. Like even women, they would be down for it. They would be so like, okay, so that means we could see other people, but we could see each other too.
Honesty will get you more what you want than just like being a fuckboy about it.
Right.
Like 1,000%.
But the lines get blurred with the situationships. It's not an exclusivity. If you don't have an agreement that we are exclusive to each other, you don't have shit. Now, I can be committed to you. I could be committed to him. I could be committed to all types of other people. But if there's no element of exclusivity,
yeah,
you're just out there.
Yeah. And there's no communication of exclusivity,
right.
You don't have it.
You don't have it. There's no exclusivity.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
No matter what you feel, what you think.
Exclusivity. I mean, and if for business, right, it's like non-compete, right? If you're exclusively working for one company, you are an employee of them, you stay with them, you can't go with nobody else. You can't do business with nobody else. That's an exclusivity deal. So if there is no exclusivity deal, you're
what do you have?
You're free. But you can be in a relationship with somebody and be committed to them.
I agree.
You could be committed to a friendship. You could be committed, like so committed, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to have another one on the side. Because you could be committed to more than one person.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you don't love, have feelings for a bond.
Right.
With that
You're
person.
just not exclusive.
You're just not exclusive with
And some people will act like they want to be exclusive, but they don't want to be exclusive. They want to be committed. They want to be committed to the cause, the relationship, the feelings, the love, the sex, but they don't want that stamp. Like, you can't touch nobody else. You can't be with nobody else. And that's what comes with exclusivity.
Well, yeah, that goes the other way too. It's like,
right.
I'm committed to, the guy would think I'm committed to her, but what he really wants is her to be exclusive to him.
Yes.
Right? And that's a double standard.
That's a double standard. And then that's when the problems begin.
For sure. Let's hold that thought. And then we're going to tap in with our sponsorship here with Starstruck Collection.
Yes. So we want to send a shout out to Rod from Starstruck Collection for these amazing, amazing hoodies. Okay, so let's talk about these fits. So the stitching on here is so fly and it's perfection. It really is. Like, look, this hoodie, not only is it soft, but it looks good and it's like fluffy.
You know what I love? I love wearing clothes that you don't see everybody else wearing.
Yes.
And the quality and design of this hoodie couldn't be more top tier. I love it. It's perfect for hoodie season. It's perfect for the fall weather.
Yes.
It's stylish. It's fashionable. You see the pink goes with him and her.
Right.
It goes both ways.
I mean,
And
look at the details, like the little brass.
attention to the details.
Yeah.
We can't even show you the back. But man, you're going to love this one. Definitely grab your Starstruck hoodie today. Untying Knots. Use our code. Go ahead and check it out. Grab yours.
Yes. Lush.
Welcome back to the conversation. So let's get to our solutions for dating, right? So what's something that you believe men should know about women in dating?
So my number one thing when I date as a high quality, high earning woman, I always ask, what are your needs? What are your wants? What are your expectations?
Mm-hmm.
And I ask that up front so we don't get the muddy waters in here. Like, tell me what you want, tell me what you need, tell me what you expect off the rift.
Really? And that's an initial conversation that you're having? How do you frame that?
Do you need sex? Do you just want sex? Do you expect me to good morning you, good night you, give you a play-by-play of my day? Like, tell me your expectations so that I know if I can meet them or not. Or if I could be like, no, I'm good.
What do you think men need to know about communication and consistency with women while dating?
So we can't read each other's minds. Like, never assume, always ask. And I think a lot of relationships don't even make it to the beginning stages because of assumptions. He's seeing somebody else. He's not answering my calls. Like, the assumption will kill relationships. Assumption is like the evil thing for sure.
Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like something that women should know about men when dating is that some of the things that women tend to care about that they think qualifies them don't matter to men.
Yes.
For example, you having your own house, having your own car, paying your own bills. That's a standard of being an adult.
Right. Thank you.
That is not qualifying you to be nobody's
You're not
girlfriend.
a bad bitch because you're paying your own bills.
Because you're paying your own bills.
Right.
You're an adult.
Right.
We expect that from you, Tina. You know what I'm saying? So having a degree, it does not matter to a man. How much money you make does not matter to a man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So what matters to a man, like, I feel like a lot of women put an emphasis on those things and think that that's what qualifies them for the relationship, but they always neglect the things that really matter, which is, are you a woman of peace? Because men want peace.
Peace.
Men go through a lot in their day-to-day.
And women are dramatic.
Life, and the last thing he wants to do is to come home to a woman who is not peaceful. Are you a woman of peace? Are you a woman of light? Do you bring darkness to his life? Are you a shadow of doubt?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or you have a negative mindset, a can't-do mentality? Or are you a woman that speaks life into that man?
Yes.
A man wants a woman who's going to speak life into him and encourage and push him and motivate him.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a woman of light? That matters more than your salary.
Right. Yeah.
Are you a woman with a nurturing, gentle, quiet spirit?
Mm-hmm.
Not quiet in the sense that you don't vocalize yourself, but quiet in the sense of you kind of have
tranquility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could bring that peace and that stillness, that quietness to his life around all the hustle and bustle and noise that he's dealing with.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, those are the qualities that really men find instinctively attractive in women.
Or wifey material.
Wifey material, right?
Because you can have that BBL and be loud as fuck.
Are you sensual?
Right.
Right? I think there's a lot in women like wanting to withhold sex on the first date, second date, all this and that. Man, men want to be sexual with their woman. So withholding it and trying to leverage that against them really pushes them away.
Well, it's messing with their peace.
Yeah, it does. And then once he gets
it, their biological makeup.
Once he gets it, he's going to get it because you owe it to him, and he's out.
Right.
So the whole time you're trying to
post-nut clarity.
Exactly. So you might.
I just learned this, ladies.
It's okay to be sensual with the man that you're attracted to. You know, a lot of times women give their sexual energy to men who don't deserve them.
Yes.
And then they meet a good man.
Agree.
They want to withhold her sexual energy.
They want to withhold it because they're afraid. Because they're afraid that giving sexual energy too soon may fuck up the recipe. But it's actually the opposite.
The complete opposite.
It's the opposite.
Look, in my dating experience post-divorce, I dated 2 girls. Both of them crashed on the first night.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't look at it as a negative thing.
Yeah.
To me, it was like she's sexually liberated. Like she's so in tune with herself.
Yeah, and she's feeling you.
She wants,
yeah.
And she's not hindered by societal pressures
norms
of saying like,
yeah.
oh, a woman can't have sex on the first night. It made me more attracted to her because I saw her as liberated.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw her sensual side. And I was like, man, she's a vibe. Versus a girl like, I don't wait for sex. You know?
Yes, we talked about this in season 1.
I got a 3-date rule.
Yes.
You got 3 dates to throw them legs up. And by the second one, if I don't feel like I'm fucking on the 3rd date, you're not going to get a second.
Yeah.
But if she makes me wait for it, I'm gonna get it because you owe it to me. And once I get it, I don't even want it.
Yeah.
I don't
Because it was
even-
too
I don't
long.
want
Too
you.
long. Too long of a journey.
I'm just here because you gotta pay back taxes. I'm here to collect taxes. I'm not here for you.
Oh my God.
You
I love
fucked
it.
up.
Yeah. I love
Should have
it.
gave you that pussy the first night. Now here we are. Now you gotta get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Because look, I'll say it in a woman, and I'll say it in a woman's perspective. If you're attracted to him, you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
You're gonna
just do
you're
it.
gonna do it for sure. If you're feeling him, yeah, them legs are gonna go up.
But there's a healthy and a proper way to go about being sexual with somebody. I'm not saying just give it to any and everybody.
Right.
My thing is that a lot of times women will withhold sex from good men that they're genuinely interested in because they think that it's going to ruin it. But they'll
Right.
give their sexual energy to a man who wants nothing to do with them and is not good for them. And they'll give him the pussy.
It's
off rip.
crazy. I know. It sounds crazy, but it happens. Yeah.
That's just crazy. Or if you have
But
kids,
because think about it, maybe that guy is just good for sex.
maybe he is. And that's cool. Accept that connection.
Yeah.
That this is just a sexual connection.
It's just a sexual
and if
connection.
you want that, that's just accept that's what
Yeah.
it is. And if you don't want it, then don't entertain it.
Right. Yeah.
It's okay to be a
Facts.
sexual being. We're sexual. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So those are the elements I feel like women
That was
should know
great.
that really matter. Like niggas don't care that you pay your own bills. You should.
You're
You
an
should have
adult.
your own car.
Right.
We're proud of you, sis.
Right.
But what about that peace?
Right. Yeah, because there's a lot of successful women that do not bring peace.
No.
And they're just dramatic, obsessive, compulsive, insecure.
Most married men will probably ask married men, do they have peace at home?
Probably not.
How many married men don't even want to go home? They get off work, they want to go to a bar, they go
Yeah.
to the gym, they try to find a friend. Like they try to do anything after work to
That
not
sucks.
get home. Just to go home and sleep and then get up and do it again because he doesn't have peace.
That sucks.
That's such a valuable virtue that a lot of women don't have in them.
Or they probably don't understand.
No,
Yeah.
because they're too busy worried about who's going 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit don't really matter. Like, you know, don't worry about 50-50. Like, bring your money together and decide
Yeah.
what's the best
Decide
way
how
to
you're going to
manage your money
allocate.
together.
Yeah. Right.
So it's
how
not
you're going to allocate it.
50-50 if you're putting it together. It's
Right.
our money.
Right.
It's not a his
100%.
and hers.
Right.
It's so mindset is another one. Like,
hmm
what is her mindset? That's more attractive to me than like a face full of makeup. Like a woman with a beautiful mind that's intellectual,
Right.
smart, like that's way more attractive.
It's different. Well, it also reaps more benefits
Mhm.
because
You could do more with her.
right. Well, also when the makeup comes off, you're like, oh, this is it. Now what?
Your beauty has to be more than skin deep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so like if all you're relying on is your external beauty to hold and keep you in that relationship,
It's not gonna
not
make
gonna
it
last.
because beauty fades.
because
Yeah.
that man's not going to cheat, not because you're not pretty enough, because you weren't peaceful enough.
Right.
You weren't enough life in him. It wasn't enough
That's
light.
perfect.
It wasn't enough of the virtues that he needed. It had nothing to do with your beauty.
Right.
It was your inner beauty that you
Yeah.
forgot.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what I would say. And last but not least, don't forget to go to Starstruck Collection to get your
Yes.
hoodies. It's cuffing
Yes.
season. You need
Yes.
this.
And they come in 3 colors. So orange, yellow, and pink. We decided to go with the pink because we got the pink vibes
It's a
going.
vibe.
But they're really nice, high quality. And let's just keep it real. You know, Starstruck Collection, it's custom pieces. They do everything to fit by design.
Does.
So
If you a star, you should dress like it. Starstruck
Right.
Collection. Get your Starstruck hoodie today. We're Untying Knots. I'm Lyndon,
I'm Angelica.
and we will see you on the next episode.